Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Carol Davis here with a spot of sunshine. I hope you can hear me. This is a first for me. I'm in my car. As I mentioned yesterday, I didn't know if I'd make it or not because I thought I might be traveling. But I got to pull off the road and I have my windows up and my air conditioning off, my motor off so that I can do this. I hope you can hear me. Tell me if you can't hear me. Anyway, let's do this. Today I'm going to read a chapter or a couple chapters, but the first one is called Releasing the Agony of Imperfection. How you feel when you make a mistake. I also call the agony of imperfection a shame attack, right? Here we go. I hate making mistakes. We all know everyone makes mistakes, and many people seem to accept that and move on. For others, making a mistake is so painful that the inner storm of discontent is only quieted by the abuse of alcohol, drugs, food, violence to the self or others. Wow. Why, the question is asked, why? The slightest mistake, inadvertently hurting someone's feelings or forgetting a document for a meeting, can trigger the agony of imperfection. I do not know why. I do know the source for me, and I recommend finding out when you learn the lie that it is not okay to make mistakes. For me, it was the belt. If I made the slightest mistake, any mistake, my father beat my body with a belt. So now I know the shame that overwhelms me when I make a mistake is me waiting for the belt. After I left home, I beat myself up, but now I know better. No more belt. Go back in time and listen for the person who said to you, "Shame on you." Who is that? Who is that saying that to you? Identify that person and know they told you the lie. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to fail. Let go of the belt. Write a new life story. You are amazing, and you have many more important things to do than worry about being perfect. Perfectionism is so very painful. Today, I no longer use substances of any kind to quiet the storm. Today, I look within and see when I learned the lies. Then, when I feel the agony or have a shame attack, I call someone, talk it out, and I shrink it. Shrink it? What's that? Why, that's the next chapter called Shrink It. Shrink anything or anyone bothering you. When I feel hurt or intimidated by people, I shrink them into little children, and they are way less scary. Or even shrink them into a ball. Throw it away. You can also try the shrinking technique with any of your emotions. The next time you are overwhelmed with debilitating shame, squeeze that emotion into a small ball and put it in a box until you are ready to deal with it. Oh, I like that. Better than what I said. Okay, moving on. I love reading this one. It's called The Scales of Justice. Check this out. Remember the scales you've seen them, Scales of Justice. One night, many years ago, I sat straight up in bed with a vision of the scales of justice. I had been harboring resentment, that's refeeling over and over, for months about the behavior of a particular person. Of course, I saw myself as the good person and him as the bad person. If that is true, I thought, while picturing the scales of justice that I just showed you a picture of, then how come I'm wide awake and the bad guy is probably sleeping like a rock? What? In the middle of the night, I'm still awake and the bad guy's sleeping. The vision of the scales helped me put my perception and attitude back in balance by reminding me that I choose my reactions. I made a choice in that moment not to torture myself. And never again have I lost sleep due to resentment. I just picture these scales and I'm okay. Well, I'm okay as far as sleeping is concerned, But I realized I needed to begin work on a lifetime of resentments. And I did this by taking inventory in the attic of my life, where my past is stored, or my subconscious. However, before I could get there, I needed to address my anger and rage. But how? I was way too angry to write. My teacher said, just start writing anyway. Just one page. Write down the name of someone. But I could not do that. I would start raging at just the thought of someone in my past. I was no longer acting out violently against people or property that was not mine, but I raged and smashed things, my own things, crazy. People kept telling me I needed to deal with my anger, and that made me angry. I yelled, I was mean and hurtful. What do I do? When I was angry, I felt like a balloon filled to the brim with air. Air had been let go inside of me. Have you ever seen that? Fill a balloon with air and then let it go? It goes, yep. So have you ever seen, okay. That's how I felt inside when I was that angry. Like balls were bouncing in every direction, uncontrollably inside of me. So, but I couldn't write. That's what my teachers were saying, right? So I got this idea. Got the wild idea to beat up my bed. See, here's a picture. Beat up my bed. Serious. Yes, every time I felt the rage, I would pummel my bed until the energy inside of me dissipated. Of course, I wasn't always at home, so occasionally I had a few slips of the tongue. But more often, I would hold my anger inside, knowing my bed and some sweet release was waiting for me when I did get home. Telling you that sounds stupid, but just try it. Releasing the energy of anger within me, I was then able to finally enter the attic of my being to start rummaging through everything buried there. In my attic, I found the clues for beginning my journey back to me. Now we're going to start with that tomorrow, with the attic. Check it out. That's what I call my subconscious, the attic. That's kind of what like my subconscious looks like. Fun, huh? So I'm going to finish my trip now. And then tomorrow we'll get on the attic. Thank you, Robert, Ian, Bob, for being here. Appreciate you so much. Pass it on. Thank you. Spread the smile.